Losing $188 trading LUMN short. What's going on, guys? Welcome on into the recap. We continue to battle, which this one's bad. This not bad. This one's just I think I just took a step back and said, what the fuck am I doing? Let's walk away from this one. Which has kind of been, we're kind of in like a funk. I mean, straight up. The market has not been a very high momentum environment, and I think I'm almost trying to force upon, what I want to see, versus what's actually happening to a degree. Not like bad. We're not trading random shit. We're not, well, you can make the argument, I guess. This one kind of is, but it's one that I've had on my radar for the past month or two now. We're not changing the strategy fully. We're maybe making little tweaks here and there, but this one's not ideal. So trading on a 25K and a 10K. So the 10K account, we lost 53 or 54, and the 25K, we lost about 134 on the short side. So let's pull up the chart and take a look at it. So here is the chart and the stock of in question. So here's the 5-minute for today. So I decided to get out. I decided to get out, and as I'm speaking right now, I'm actually happy I did so because volume has come in and it's gone even further. So it didn't technically hit my stop loss. However, the thing's up fucking 10% on the day. So I'm like, I'm good. That's actually a bullish engulfing now setting up on the daily time frame, which is like an absolute no-go. And I don't want to take the overnight risk on a swing trade. So here's the daily. I had an alert set because in the back of my head, I watched this thing make its run, and I was like, yeah, this fucking piece of shit. There's no way this thing, right? And so kind of making a mistake right there, because as much as I say that, you could say that, and maybe I say that, but I'm not going to act upon that randomly. And I didn't act upon that randomly. I waited for the setup to occur, and it did. It's just that I've now traded it twice, and so I feel like I'm doing the exact same thing as last month. I'm starting my month the exact same way as last month, and I just need to stop. Just like a reset. But I'm like, yeah, there's no fucking way this thing is going to stay up this high, blah, blah. I'm not a fundamental guy, so I don't give a shit about that stuff. I don't care about that stuff, but the thing goes from $1 to fucking 10, 9, whatever, 8. And I'm like, yo, in a month, like, yo, this is probably going to end like the majority of other ones where it eventually just bleeds out for a while. However, it could do that, and you could find there be a lot of trades or there be no trades, or you get faked out or whatever. It just may not fit the way I do things. So I had a trade back on it last month, somewhere in here on like a 4-hour or 1-hour time frame for a breakdown. I believe underneath is 485 or around the same level, to be honest with you. And then it regained it, and I was like, I don't like it. Then it kind of breaks down. There's a short report that came out on it. Not that I really give a shit. I didn't even know that. That was why it broke down. Then it breaks down right here, consolidates, and then it starts to break the consolidation. So I get interested when we get that break of that consolidation. So we have a move down. Now we've got, lower highs being put in, so you can make them, downtrend argument there. And now potentially a lower low being put in here. We have at least a lower low going in here, and then our next test would be here. And we couldn't break that level, obviously, as you're seeing right now. So even go to a 4-hour, you can kind of see it a little more clear. I think it's even cleaner on the 4-hour time frame. You had the big move down, boop, consolidate, boop, breakdown, and it came on not amazing volume, but a little bit of a perk in volume compared to the prior couple of days of consolidation. So that's a good sign. And then it just, reversed on me today, and that's it. So the idea here was playing off what I think will be the inevitable backside here, but I could be totally wrong, and I am wrong, and I've lost on this thing twice. Now, have I lost big on this thing? Absolutely not. So both of the trades I did exit prior to my full stop or my original plan stop being hit because I didn't like the price action that I was seeing, and both of those stops now pretty much would have been hit. Well, the first one definitely was, and the second one is about to get hit literally like any moment now. So in hindsight, you look back and say, hey, it was a good, recognition, whatever. Do I, want to put too much weight into it? Not really. It just didn't work. As simple as that. But now all the signs are pointing against the momentum to the downside. So it's like, yeah, don't trade that. So that's the trade. It really is nothing crazy. It was intended to be a swing, and it was. I got in yesterday, and then this morning it was like, oh, look good, and then boom, just snap back. I think there's an insider director who bought 10,000 shares. I don't know how much that actually matters, but that was the news that came out this morning as well. So something to think about, or whatever. But that's the deal. So this one on the 10K account, we lost 53 or 54. And like I said, 134 on the other account. So not bad in the grand scheme. 188 is not that big of a deal. I should clarify. So on any stock trades, because of that, the sizing will be different. So not to like even get into my head too, because you do, but you have to think logically sometimes. So let's say this was to be a winner. I don't know. Let's just say it was, or we have another trade, or the Tesla trade was a winner, which was I took earlier, where that was a day trade. If you haven't seen that recap, go back and watch it, because the other thing is there was some good stuff conceptually that I think made some sense. And the idea is like, okay, so you lose 188. However, if we win on the 10K account, we win over $100. So with the copier on the 25K account, do the math. So on a normal trade, let's say that I made 125 on a normal trade. And I'm just doing this off the top of my head right now. 125 on the 10K account for a normal winner. You have to multiply that by 3.5, because technically I'm trading $35,000, not $10,000, because and I have the copier accordingly. So if you multiply that by 3.5, that 125 becomes 437. So not to like, but this is just like, so you kind of have a sense for the numbers. You'll see it hopefully as I have winners, hopefully this month. But that's kind of where it's at. So like let's say we win, in theory, our winners should be over $400 a trade on this now. But it's technically on 2 accounts, but it's one trade, So just to make sense of it, that's the idea. So hopefully that made some sense. I'll leave a link to TradeZella below where you can track all your shit. Like usual, we are currently on what is being read as a 7-in-a-row losing streak. However, there's a Tesla in there, and now we've got trades that are being counted twice because of the trade copier. So in the grand scheme, we only have lost 2, 3, 4, 5. We're on a 5-loss streak for the month of September, which is not ideal. It's not ideal, but like I said, you get a winner. We're down $600. Happens to make 400, 500. Boom, right? So I'm trying to just continue to do the same things, manage the risk, do the same shit, and we'll get there. We'll get there. I think I've been in more than a bit of a funk for sure, but I let that get to my head on the Tesla trade from yesterday's recap. So I think I just need to be like, think a lot less, like legitimately stop thinking so much and just let it be. Now, if the market doesn't align, and it hasn't been great, but there were some good signs on Tesla today, it is what it is. It will eventually realign, and you'll be right back in action. Because the argument that I make, I don't have to make the argument, but for someone who was to look at these and go, oh man, this guy sucks, or his strategy sucks, any strategy is going to have its time, good and bad. The operator is also the one at fault, because the operator may not be operating it properly or perfectly or to the best of my ability, which I think I have been overthinking it. But at the same time, like, if you wanted to take a shot or to say, yeah, this sucks, well, then you would also have to then go back to some of the really good months, which, by the way, there was more of those than these, some of the really good months, and say, strategy sucks. Well, it didn't in those months. I'm not trading differently. Now, maybe there's some minor tweaks, moving stops a little bit here and there, but that's not making a massive difference. That's making like the needle move a little bit, not a huge deal. So when you take a step back and think about it, the more data you have, the better to make the decisions. But at the same time, like, sometimes it's just, we're just not aligned. And based on how we've been going right now, we're just not perfectly aligned with things. When we kind of catch that groove and get on the tracks again, I don't need that many winning trades to put myself in position for a really good month. Like, seriously, I don't need that many if I'm, operating properly. So that's the long answer. Hopefully that was helpful though. And I will see you guys in the next recap. Hopefully in the next 2 days, we have a winner to talk about. Maybe we won't, but we'll see. Peace. Enjoy.